Due to a 1-week hiatus, this episode of Double Dose Podcast will be a selection of some of our favorite topics from previous episodes. Enjoy!
If you were to only be able to travel back once, make one jump back, and then you come back to present, what time period and where?
Well, see, I think that a one jump situation, don't judge me, but I am going to jump back just to pretty much help myself at that point. Because, one, well, can I bring a camera and stuff?
No, I'm going to say it's an inner journey.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay.
Because you know what? You will change everything. You will destroy the world if you go, aliens visited.
I'll be Ashton Kutcher and choke myself as a baby.
Yeah. Dude, that's it.
I would go back and in a spiritual journey, let's say, and I knew what to do and I could like absorb the knowledge.
Yeah.
I'd go back and just say buy Bitcoin.
Right. Interesting. That's such an interesting choice.
To go back and just, right as Bitcoin was taken off, and hoard about 10,000 Bitcoins and just sit on them.
Interesting.
And say just sell them in like 2020.
Do you feel like you chose that because it's like the past is the past, and if I can set myself up for the future, then might as well?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, I get that, man. Because
because you're only going back once.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, okay, I got a snippet of knowledge, but like, wait, how long can I go back for?
As long as you need.
As long as I need.
Well, but you're going to age, so.
Oh.
You're going to want to and in saying that, it's so hard because imagine saying, I want to go back to when the pyramids were getting built. And what if it does turn out that they took 20 years to build up more? And then you just come in and they're just putting down foundation lines. You're like, how long do I have to wait for something to happen? And what if the time you come back is when the aliens visit? So you just have no idea. You have to spend a lifetime to know.
Okay, I'm sticking to what I said. You?
Well, after this conversation, I was going to say
I'm going for the Bitcoin.
Yeah, dude, I was going to say pyramids, but now thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, if you go back and you can only just take yourself, and you come back and go, guys, I know the story about the pyramids. People go, okay, but where's the evidence?
Yeah.
And you go,
that's right.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say as well. If I don't have evidence, and they might be like, oh, you faked it.
Can you bring back something?
Well, how would you even know? Prove it. People could say you just faked it. How many people out there?
Bring back someone from that time, carbon date them.
Carbon date them. Just kidnap Tutankhamun.
Yeah, dude.
Run with him.
Let him have modern medicine and grow old. He
was apparently pretty unhealthy guy.
Was he the one that was killed when he was young, or he just died young?
Man, he was born with a club foot. Yeah, and he walked with a cane, and everyone just praised him. And he had an elongated head.
Dude, you sound like you're describing an alien. You're describing an alien right there.
Yeah, probably. Maybe it was an alien.
Maybe. He was the first Splice. It didn't work out.
I did not like that film. Did you?
Which one?
Splice.
Oh, no way, dude. No.
Oh, okay.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I didn't. That was horrible.
No, that's, we don't talk about that. Yeah.
So, I came across this video. I really hope you haven't seen this. But there's this guy. One of the most interesting ways of cooking a piece of food I've ever seen in my life. He was able to cook an entire chicken by slapping it.
Oh, okay. I do remember the meme coming out, how hard and fast do you need to slap a chicken in order to cook it?
Yeah.
Because it's a thermal
it's the thermodynamics. Thermodynamics that
right. So someone's done
energy
this.
Gets transferred. I think it's maybe Newton's second law of thermodynamics that every action has an equals opposite reaction, but all energy is transferred and never lost. So, if you slap something really hard and it hurts your skin or whatever, you can do that enough times that you'll be able to cook a damn piece of meat.
Wow.
So he did it. He actually cooked it.
Is it a cause and effects? Is he cooking his hand as he's cooking the chicken?
So he was not able to cook it with his own strength. He needed to build a machine to slap the chicken continuously until it cooked.
Oh my god, dude! This guy from this guy definitely was from the era where you slapped your wife. As soon as he heard about slapping, he was like, oh, I gotta get on this.
Yeah. So he was able to do it. How many slaps do you think it took?
How hard and fast is he slapping the chicken?
Well, what if you had
slapping
to guess?
The chicken sounds like a saying, like choke the chicken.
Yeah, I get what you mean. So it was pretty fast, but how fast do you think it would be?
I'm picturing it's like a little rotary machine. Like the hands just fucking...
Yeah.
I'm going to say 200 SPM, slaps per minute.
For how long?
Oh, shit. Okay. 3.5 hours.
Okay. 200 slaps per minute, and then per minute, let's do some quick calculations off the top of my head. Quick maths. So how many minutes in an hour? So 60 minutes.
Yep.
So that's times 60, 1200, 200 SPM. What's that?
By the way, whatever you say,
slaps per minute.
Whatever you say, I'm going to agree on because I'm bad at math.
No, 12,000 slaps per hour is what you're saying. Per hour, 24.
Yes.
That's like 50,000 slaps a day. No.
God damn.
100,000 slaps a day.
Old generation are just loving this sound.
Oh my God, I hope I got my maths not totally wrong here. But so there was a number and he got it. He was able to do it. So I'll give you some bit of backstory first, is that he needed to get the chicken to, it did not look cooked when he showed it.
Okay.
But he went to the FDA, guidelines and said, how long do you need to cook a chicken for?
Yep.
And usually it's 75 degrees Celsius. Internal temperatures for...
I think that's Fahrenheit.
75 degrees flashed, I think, on each side for a certain amount of minutes. But he was worried that would be too high of a temperature to achieve by slapping. So he looked up, and if you cook it at 10 minutes at 55 degrees Celsius, it would cook. It would be considered cook. I think it was 10 or 30 minutes that he had to hold the temperature of 55 degrees of slapping, right?
Oh, right. Okay. Yep.
So it needed to be slapped.
I think it's 65 Fahrenheit, I think, for chicken.
But it just needed to be held over that amount of time. Don't quote me on the time. I forget what it was.
In order to be considered safe to eat.
Yes.
Yep.
So he was slapping it with this machine.
Yeah.
And
I love that you're doing it like that.
The number he came to was 135,000 slaps. And it took him 8 hours to cook, 8 or 9 hours to achieve it. Because over time, you could see, and he had to build this encasing, he had to buy and build this special encasing that he would wrap in the chicken in this very tiny sack. And the sack was very special because it allowed heat to come in, but it didn't allow heat to come out.
Okay.
So it was almost like a vacuum seal of this special material. And the device looked like some sort of seesaw that was tilted on one side, and it was just coming down like 100 times almost every 10 seconds. It was just bam, 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 just nailing this chicken. And it took him weeks to achieve this because the machine kept breaking.
What?
There was so much force being generated that it sounded like a jackhammer.
Yeah, like a couple of questions. What are people that are walking past that house thinking, hearing that? How do you sleep with that running, throughout the night? And also, what method of cooking are we thinking of? That is that classified as? Is that baking a chicken because it's in a like a bag?
I guess you're boiling it to a degree because the heat.
Its own heat.
It's boiling it really.
Yeah. Did the chicken fall apart?
So it was he could not eat it because the thermal paste or the fiberglass insulation that he had created burst onto the chicken. Right. But when he opened it up, it looked cooked. But he did cook and eat a steak, which was much lower temperature needed. And that thing looked brown on the outside and pink in the middle.
Really?
And he was able to eat it. But he said...
Is it just a section of the meat or overall?
Whole thing.
Really?
Yes.
So it just transfers meat?
Yeah, it transfers the whole
temperature.
meat. And he had this big... He had to get the thickest bit of cut he could because he's worried it was going to get pounded into oblivion.
Oh yeah,
but he said when he ate it, it was almost unchewable because it tasted like he had been chewing it for about 5 hours because it was pounded so many times.
I wonder what that does to the proteins, the fibers. That's wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Dude, that's so weird. I like that though. I like the dedication. Is he an engineer?
Yeah, he's an engineer that's got this YouTube channel that is very specific to, doing these kind of kooky experiments and doing very strange ways of doing stuff. And also, let's just build this because I can.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
So it was possible and he proved it, but it happened a lot of failures. And I give props to the guy. It was one of the most interesting videos I had seen. And the streams he had posted of, the letdowns and the machine breaking so many times and reinforcing the machine and rebuilding it to make it stronger, because heaps of time, the bolt would just break because it was just under so much force and pressure.
As an engineer, I bet you he loved this whole experiment. It wasn't even about the chicken. It was just making this thing work and do its job.
For sure.
Yeah.
It was super interesting, and I thought you would like it.
No, I do appreciate that. And I can't say that I can bring that into my culinary experience. This is a thought experiment that I found. And before I get into it, I do need to give a warning, an info hazard warning, if you will. If you do have a tough time with existentialism and dread, please skip this part. It is a pretty bleak concept, and once you hear about it, you're in it, and there's no way out of it. Mm-hmm. So you've been warned. So
go for it.
This is called Rocco's basilisk. Okay. Now I'm gonna have to read off my notes here because it's a bit of a deep one.
Okay.
Okay. So
hit me, boy.
This is a hypothetical thought experiment for when human existence reaches the point of the singularity. Okay.
I've thought about this a lot. Go ahead.
So for those of you listening that don't know, the singularity is a hypothesized future where computing power gets to such great feats that it's like a superhuman artificial intelligence, and it becomes it has a capability to simulate human minds and upload its mind to other computers, and it's able to simulate life itself. It's just so advanced.
It's essentially like being so adept that it's able to
more than human.
It's more than human, and it can process so fast it essentially invents everything at once.
Yes.
In an instant, and everything gets invented that can possibly be made.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. So in this hypothetical future, this AI is I guess it's brought into existence, and it's able, and if it gets to a point where it's able to understand human qualities like fear and self-preservation like we do, then it might have an interest in the people who were in fear of its creation.
Okay.
And even if it doesn't have proof that you were in fear of it, it probably has the capability to take what you are as a person, or anything that represents you as a person, and simulate your life to even figure out if you were to fear it or were to have feared it at one point in your life.
Okay.
So the basic thought experiment is that if this AI was able to find out that you didn't want its existence, then it could have the power to essentially stop your existence by putting you into a hell trapped in your own mind. It could kind of like could put you into like a matrix essentially, but that's like just an eternal hell.
Yes.
And you're just trapped in there, and it could be just torture forever because it knows that you did not want its existence.
Okay.
And then on top of that, if you then create it out of fear, then you're creating a self-fulfilling prophecy in which the fear of something happening, you've made it happen. So then, taking that one step further, because of its intelligence, it's able to find out that it was created due to fear, and then you are now viewed as being in fear of it. So then you are still at its mercy.
Oh, say it again.
So, if it finds out that you fear it, it could pretty much put you in
some sort of mental prison.
Mental prison, right? Mm-hmm. But then, because of this knowledge of what it has the potential of doing, you create it to essentially support it. Then you've created it out of fear.
Yes.
And then, if it runs its simulation and finds out that you created it out of fear, then you are essentially fearing itself, and it still has the potential to lock you up.
Yeah.
So
but that's only okay. Yeah. I get what you mean.
So you're essentially trapped. So now just the understanding of this theory, you're essentially in a position right now that if you don't do anything right now to support its creation in this hypothetical future that it's possible, then you are going to be put into this hellscape.
Okay.
And if you don't do anything right now, then you are not contributing to it, therefore a threat to its existence, therefore potentially going to be put into this hellscape.
Yeah, but that's to say if we're locked inside this mental prison to begin with.
Well, it's when the AI is created. And
yeah, when it's surpassed us.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big fear that I kind of have is what will happen when AI, because the minute it's invented, about 2 seconds later, you get singularity.
It would be instant.
It's almost instantaneous.
Yeah, I can imagine it's just be like, oh, I am me. This is me. I understand everything. This is me.
So what was so scary about it for you?
I'm okay with it because I don't see it happening in my lifetime, I guess, you know?
Are you serious? You think there won't be the AI as smart as us in our lifetime?
I don't think...
I think it'll be towards the end of our lifetime for sure.
If it is, it's right at the end of life.
Expert scientists say by 2040, 100%.
Right, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, you got to support it.
Okay.
You got to support Roko's basilisk.
I think that's a crazy thought experiment, and it's pretty cool. But
so basically,
the thing is though, the AI can't encapsulate the reality you're already in.
I believe it's like it'd be in a position where,
it can.
Yeah.
It can just do something like that.
I think it'd be in a position where you would be reliant on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This thought experiment was so bad that I think the person that submitted it was named Roko, or the username was Roko. It was on a philosophy board, and the admin ripped it down and deleted it, and was just like, "This is stupid. This is and it's because several people complained about it because they were having they were essentially breaking down with just knowing that this fact, because some people can't handle this idea. Now that they have the knowledge of this, it's a big fear for some people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I wanted to bring up something to you.
Shoot.
A very strange experiment. Don't look. Very strange experiment that happened in 1865 by George Stratton.
Okay.
Okay. I hope you've never heard of it.
We're going way back.
We're going way back. I felt this was very interesting to the point of human experience and to the point of how our brains can adapt to certain scenarios and to certain things around our world. Because so I had the very interesting thought of, our eyes see everything upside down, right? Mm-hmm. You know that, our brain flips it upside down.
Yeah.
And for some reason or other, when I move my left hand, my right side of my brain is controlling that. And when I move my right hand, the left side of my brain is controlling that. So it's flipped for some reason,
I think it's also the same with the way our ears pick up sound. Sounds on the left side, your right ear will pick that up better. And
with the left brain?
I think because I remember seeing this experiment where someone put earmuffs with two tubes coming out into a long strip pipe with funnels.
Yeah.
And if you had the right ear going out of the right funnel and someone talked out it over there, you wouldn't hear it in the wrong spot. If you flip the tube so the wires were crossed, you could hear it correctly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. So this experiment, this is 1865, dude. So this is old as hell.
No tech around this time.
This is 170 years ago almost.
Was radio around this time? Radio?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I have to check it.
Yeah.
Steam was in the 1600s, so actually maybe. Who knows?
Yes.
All right. This guy wanted to test what would happen if he wore glasses that flipped his eyesight upside down. Okay?
Okay.
So the glasses would flip everything, so it's just completely inverted. So where I'm looking up, it's the ground is on the roof in what I'm seeing, right?
Yes.
So it's like you turn your
full
head
180.
You turn your head 180 degrees and you're walking around like that.
I see where this is going. Okay, yeah. Okay.
So he did this for 8 days. Okay.
Wow.
8 days.
From morning till night.
He slept with an eye mask on.
Yeah.
Did not open his eyes while he transferred from these special glasses to sleep.
I like how in those days of special glasses when you could literally just like cut two little mirrors now and just put them on.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah.
He designed it himself and built it, right? The first day, he said the environment was completely unreal and strange to him. Mm-hmm. So he's walking around, everything felt alien. You know, he's looking at the roof and the sky. When he was walking around, his hands were getting very confused. You know, he'd reach for things with the wrong hand,
right?
Because it's flipped, so he needs to use his other hand just with the way what he's seeing. The second day he did it, he said everything started to feel a bit better, but his body felt very, very strange. So his body felt out of place. Like he felt like the landscape was getting better, but his body felt disconnected.
Okay.
The third day, he said he was seeing completely normal.
Really?
Yes.
That quickly?
3 days. And he said he was seeing the world as if it was right side up. So his brain had flipped the image back over.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's so quick.
Yes.
And
that was That's exactly what I was horrified, and I'm so glad you're having this reaction right now because
and not only did his brain recorrect it, but were his understanding of where his arms are corrected as well?
He could run and do everything like normal. He said everything felt completely normal to him with the glasses on.
Do you think that, I don't know if this is related, but do you think that if you were right-handed, you would now become left-handed?
No, because the feeling felt the same to him.
It felt the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so
what
was a big adjustment for him, he said, was that when he was looking at something, at first he would reach with the wrong hand.
Yes.
Because the vision was flipped.
Yes.
So then he said eventually he was correcting and he was walking around going to the shops and interacting with everything completely normal. And he said the vision looked normal to him.
That is really interesting.
Then he said he took them off and it was upside down again.
Holy shit.
So he took off the glasses and the world was flipped.
Oh my God, dude, that'd be so fucking scary.
Yes.
How do you can't confidently say that your brain's going to fix itself?
Yes.
Oh my God, dude.
So he said he was seeing upside down when he took them off.
That is the same.
He was swapping hands again. Like he was say I'm looking at this laptop. Instead of reaching with his right hand when he wanted to grab something, his left hand went out. And he was like, oh my God. And then he had to change it.
That's
he
terrifying.
said it took about half a day to get back to normal.
That's terrifying, man. And
yeah.
that for me would be like the same reaction as if you just woke up and you couldn't hear for a day.
Yeah.
And you would be like, I don't know when this is coming back.
Yeah, but I think this is a person like, this is me and
He's
probably you talking about with a bit of anxiety in our bodies going, oh my God, this is so new. What if it never goes back?
Yeah.
But in reality, he was very grounded and he was very sure that everything would be okay. And I guess people were just a lot more chill back then with things going weird. Like, you know, people were dying heaps younger and that was just like normal. Anyway.
I like how you've just brushed that off. People
Yeah.
just dying. It's normal.
So he did the experiment and the experiment was to prove can the brain adapt? Is there a certain way that our brain has been programmed to experience the world?
Right.
Or is it that the brain has just adjusted to, well, we're right side up when we start, so that's the way the brain adapts. So he's pretty damn convinced from this experiment. It's the 1860s.
Wow.
He's pretty convinced from the experiment that even if let's say your head was upside down on your body, your brain could totally adapt to the unusual situation that it would be in. And for instance, if your eyeballs were rotated upside down, your brain would adjust.
That's really cool.
And your brain can totally adapt to any situation. It's not a set certain of wires and things happening in your brain that
it adapts.
And it made me feel like this, it reminded me of this experiment also done by Smarter Every Day on YouTube, that he was able to learn how to ride a bike that was, when you pushed left, it went right. So he swapped the handlebars, so pushing left wouldn't turn the wheel left, it would turn it right. And when you turned it right, it would turn it left.
Okay.
And he said, he told people, if you can ride this 10 meters, I'll give you $1,000. And no one could do it. After 6 months, he was able to learn it.
Wow. Okay.
And when he went back to ride a normal bike, he couldn't do it. He thought it was going to be a skill that you're going to be able to just do both. But it was not. Your brain has to rewire the circuits. And he was in Amsterdam trying to get on a normal push bike.
Yeah.
People were watching him and laughing. And he's like, I can't do it. I can't ride the normal one because my brain is stuck.
Is he stuck like that?
No. It took him 25 minutes. And then he's like, it's happening. It's back to normal. I got it. I did it. And then the brain kind of like swapped out. It was pretty cool.
It's cool, like it quickly defaults back. It definitely switches back quicker than it takes to adapt.
Yeah, but
that's cool,
maybe if you just kept going for, the normal way of riding a bike has been learned for years, right? So if you rode, you could probably swap back just as fast, no matter, as long as one is the default. You just have to teach your body what to do.
Obviously, guys, for those of you listening, for those of you watching, we are clearly dressed for the occasion. We're not the Blues Brothers. We are the Men in Black. And
if you haven't figured that out now.
Yeah, if you haven't figured that out by now.
Neuralizing ourselves like 40 times.
Yeah. Isn't that a microphone? Yes. So for those of you that don't know, the Men in Black movie franchise is actually based off the real Men in Black who supposedly work for a government organization and just randomly pop up if they know you possess any info or evidence on aliens and they seek for you to destroy it. Sightings of the Men in Black have dated back as far as 1947. Kay, the story I wanted to tell you about for someone's experience with the Men in Black is the famous actor Dan Aykroyd.
Yes.
So
he's had an experience?
He's had an experience with the Men in Black. So for those of you that don't know, Dan Aykroyd apparently is a very big UFO fanatic. I think growing up, he was always talked about in his family, and he's always had a fascination with UFOs and aliens. So I can't remember what year this was, but he was in the middle of working on a new series about paranormal events, and it focused on UFOs research. One night, he stepped out of his studio in New York and to take a phone call. And while he was on the phone, this black Ford pulled up. A man jumped out, dressed in full black, like we are, stared him down with like a really menacing stare. And when he turned away for a second and turned back, the guy in the car had completely vanished. He thought that was a bit strange, but he definitely like took mental note of it. He went back in the studio, and I believe a couple hours later, he got a call from the exec saying, "We've cancelled this show, and you need to stop all production immediately."
Whoa!
And it was heavily based on UFO stuff.
What? How do you think that the car disappeared?
I mean, these Men in Black experiences from people, they seem to be performing alien-like things. The way they've been described by people are they very tall, 6 to 7 foot men, dressed in all black with a black hat, no eyebrows, very, very pale, shiny skin, and some of them have been appeared to be putting on red lipstick just to look like they have some sort of blood flowing through them to show some sort of human.
Holy shit!
Yeah, and people have had these really scary experiences with them. They're not so much people, but they could be some sort of aliens working for the government to hide anything alien.
That is so creepy. It makes me kind of want to just start spieling fucking some sort of knowledge about come across some juicy knowledge, so juicy that someone comes to the house and does this shit. Yeah, because then I'll know that's legit. But that would scare the shit out of me.
Oh, it's big time. And some of these stories that I read where they would get a phone call after, so someone would be invested heavily into some alien or UFO sightings. They would get a phone call, be like, "Are you at home right now?" And by the time the person hangs up, there's a knock at the door, and the people are already there. The Men in Black are already there, ready to go.
Holy shit.
I think I read a story about someone in the library was doing research, and the way he described the Men in Black showing up was that as if they fell from the ceiling and just popped themselves in the chair right next to him. He didn't hear anyone approach him in the library or even the chair move out. He just saw someone in the corner of his eyes sit down and pretty much be like, "Stop what you're doing."
So it's like they can teleport or something like that.
Just aggressively would just show up and essentially put you in a position of fear to be like, "Stop what you're doing, otherwise bad things will happen."
That is so scary.
Yeah, very scary. And for Dan Aykroyd, what harm would he be doing? He must have.
If you're not talking about something that's legit, then there should be no issue.
Because you have those, generic UFO documentaries here and there, but I can imagine for someone that has a passion since they're a kid, they would be doing heavy research and could probably undisclose something very juicy that we're not really meant to know.
Yes.
And they put the kibosh on him.
Whoa, that's so creepy.
Yeah. And I think for me to know this information right now, I just need to quickly just take a few glasses for a second there.
Oh, yeah, man. Okay, for sure.
Just look over here for a second.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have something for me?
Yeah, I do. What are these?
What's
Check
that?
this out.
What's that?
Check this
What's
out
that do?
right
Yeah.
here. Look right here for a
Yeah,
second.
what am I going to do? Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, wow. Okay, wow. I just saw this bright light, dude.
You're in a car accident.
I was in a car accident.
Yeah, you're right though.
Oh,
It was
thank
just-
God.
It ended up just being gas.
Is my wife okay?
Yeah, they're all fine. You go on your way, sir. You were on your way to work.
Why am I 50 kilometers from where I was before?
Who knows?
The eyes! All I can see is the eyes!
Yeah. God, that. All right, I got something else I wanted to show you, and I came across in some news.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty funny. Okay. So this just reminds me so much of why I hate society
Okay.
and why our society is essentially broken, and some people can just get away with murder. Like, not murder, but the way some people can make a living is just so disturbing, and it kind of upsets me that you're just gifted this talent, let's say, or you gifted these genetics and you can just do this. So
I feel like I'm going to be right by you with whatever you're going to
Yeah.
say next.
So, the title of this post I found was "Woman who sold farts now makes $5,000 per day selling boob sweat." So this chick is selling her farts for a living.
Cool. First ticket to Alice Springs, please.
Yeah, okay. So a woman who was making a small fortune selling her own farts, you'll be delighted to know she's back flogging her boob sweat instead. Despite making bank from her gassy goods last year, Steph Matto from Connecticut, US, has announced her early retirement because she was hospitalized due to the diet to make her fart more. She was on this crazy gassy diet to make her farts like extra stinky, and she was selling them in a jar. And she is not the first to do this. Heaps of girls are doing this.
I know it's a thing. Use panties and feet pics and whatever floats your boat. But
Yeah. So
yeah, I know what you mean, dude.
it's this paragraph had me in stitches.
And then it's just going to be a bunch of being like, "Get your bank, girl.
Yeah, and like, look,
Get your cash."
my God, like, I feel like if I could do this shit, I would. But this girl's obviously like a good-looking woman. She's quite plastic looking. You can tell she's had surgery.
Okay.
Probably her
She got the
lips
cash
and
for it?
face, whatever. And she's like, yeah, she's a good-looking woman, but she's selling her farts because I guess, thirsty motherfuckers out there want the farts. Self-proclaimed fartrepreneur opted
I
for a
hate that.
high
I hate that a lot.
Yeah.
I hate that a lot.
Fartrepreneur.
I really, really hate that.
She had
Don't G yourself up. Don't talk it up. You're just farting, and that's it. To put a name on it. As like a profession.
It's a thing.
Get out of here. It's not a thing.
Opted for a high fiber diet, living off beans and eggs, which didn't go down too well with her insides when she was experiencing chest pain causing by excess gas. So there's a picture of her in her. I should record this. What was it? Control Shift 5?
By the way,
I have no idea what I'm doing here.
there's a large part of me. I think it's 3 or 5 or 6, not 4.
I don't know what
Command.
That's it. I got it.
There's a big part of me that also doesn't believe this whole hospital story. By the way, I have a big feeling that she's very capable of pretending that the farts are in whatever canister she is selling.
Yeah.
And to keep up the illusion, make up a scenario where she was doing so much work for her fans that she had to go to hospital because of her stinky diet.
Oh, yeah.
Where,
okay.
I think that someone like that,
Be doing it for the clicks, doing it for the views.
yeah, like it's I would highly, I wouldn't be surprised if the whole hospital thing was fake.
Yeah, there's her in hospital.
Yeah.
Bless up, 2 fingers, peace and love. So she made a full recovery. He's now selling boob sweat. So appeared on 90 Day Fiancé, claims putting a jar of her fans takes her 15 minutes. So she sits in the sun for 15 minutes, sells 10 bottles a day
How
at
do you sweat that much?
$500.
How do you
She
sweat
just
that
sits in the sun under a titty.
Yeah,
Puts
but
it there.
I could run. I sweat like
It's
crazy.
hard work. Don't be fooled.
Like I could run and I will sweat, but I don't think I'd even be able to fill up like a one water bottle of sweat.
No. She's just doing like a tiny little
The
vial,
little vials.
couple drops.
Oh, okay.
Couple drops.
She's a good-looking girl.
Yeah, but
Wow.
that's the fart jar.
Okay.
And there's more of some other girl selling it. I tried to zoom into this. What is this called? Cutie Toots.
Oh,
That's what she's calling it. Like, obviously, this chick is way more plastic. Like, her boobs are so fake.
That's it's Hatsune Miku.
There you go. Cutie Toot.
How's that?
Cutie patooties. That's what it is. Cutie patooties, and it's sitting on her butt.
What's going on with those pockets on those cheeks there?
Dude, guys are disgusting who buy this stuff. But there's like a big culture in Japan of you can buy used panties in vending machines over there.
There's scat porn and all that.
Speaking of cars, I stumbled across this, which is really, really cool.
Blow my mind, boy. I want to have it blown.
Check this out.
It's Brum. Let me see.
This is a car in 1918, fully electric.
What batteries did it run on? That's incredible.
I'm not...
That's like First World War shit. It looks like...
It's
wait,
incredible.
those batteries look new as
Those
hell.
are new. But look at this.
Okay.
There is some other cars. Look at this. 1918 Walker Electric.
Yeah.
No one knows why it was discontinued. I think this was a German car.
This would have been heaps inefficient back then with those lead acid batteries.
Yeah.
They were heavy
But
and
just
big.
to think that this was the direction at one stage. At 1918. Why did we change?
It would have been too expensive, too heavy, and too inefficient.
Too expensive. Look at this photo. Electric car in a private charging station. That person's not paying. That person's not paying electricity bills.
Yes, they are.
Dude, they probably got some like. Look how
Burning oil in the backyard.
It would be so disconnected from like a town.
Okay, but you have to think back then. Maybe power outlets and all that stuff went. They would have been 1918. Had power outlets.
Yeah, electricity's pumping.
Well, I don't know what the cost of electricity was, but you have to think the efficiency of charging those batteries. It might have taken 2 days to charge up. And so you're like, I'm flat. I got to wait 2 days.
Yeah.
I think, dude, I did a lot of research back into battery tech back at school. Mm-hmm. The lead acid chemistry was nuts. It was so bad. It was very inefficient. So it was huge, heavy, costed a lot to make. They didn't hold a charge very long. Not a lot of power output.
And someone was like, let's
these
burn
tiny
stuff.
batteries are zipping you around.
Yeah.
It's lithium ion versus.
But I was just like, I can't believe that it was
That's
that
very
long ago.
forward-thinking.
1918.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they were doing electric cars then. That is incredible. It's kind of sad to think that, you know, where we would be if they carried on from electric forward cars at that stage.
Yeah.
Instead, someone was like, let's just make combustion. Hey, man, there's a lot of black stuff coming out the back of that car. Is that okay? Yeah, it'll be right. What's the worst that could happen?
No one had a care back then.
What's the worst that could happen?
The Industrial Revolution was just...
What's the worst that could happen? I'm going back to the mines. See you later.
Working back to the mines and get my 5-year-old son to help me.
Yeah.
What I came across was just looking back at the old Olympics and looking at crazy stories that happened. And I just thought, man, it was the wild, wild west of now you would never compete in the Olympics unless you're training your whole life. You think, I have to be literally pushing the human body to the max.
Yeah.
Back then, I looked at the 1904 Olympics, the marathon, and I read it was a total mess. The first place finisher did most of the race in a race car. The second guy almost died by eating rat poison. The fourth place finisher raced in a dress, pants, and shoes and took a nap by the side of the road for part of the race.
In 1904,
Yeah.
someone did the race in a car.
Yeah, they cheated. Dude, listen to this.
Did we
first
regress at one stage because it was like it's such a prestigious thing?
Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
So they went backwards and then went fucking. No, we couldn't take it seriously.
It says first off, the entire course was very dusty, and breathing in that dust caused all kinds of injuries, including the one runner who was hospitalized from hemorrhaging after the dust tore his esophagus and stomach lining. That's how dusty the track was. This guy's doing fucking burnouts in a car. This is like some Diddy Kong racing shit where someone's running and someone's in a car and someone's in a hovercraft.
Someone's just going to throw a banana peel behind him and...
The organizer of the race purposely withheld water in order to test the effects of dehydration. So the whole thing was a nightmare from the start. The first place finisher, Fred Laws, hitched a ride in a car to the end of the course after he was struck with serious cramping. He got out shortly after before the finish and crossed it, which fooled some of the onlookers. He claimed he did it as a joke. The second place finisher, Thomas Hicks, was given a mixture of egg whites and strychnine, a poison which used to kill rodents or birds as an attempt as a performance-enhancing drug.
I'll just attempt it on the big day.
Yeah. He's like, I'll egg whites and fucking
Dude, you know what this whole thing sounds like? It sounds like the sequel to It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World. Like, it's a movie from that time had this shit happening in it. That was the humor.
He was carried along the finish line by his handlers. The fourth place finisher, and Darren Carabajal, is just this dude. It was a Cuban national who raised money to attend the Olympics by running the entire length of Cuba.
What?
He gambled away all his money when he arrived to the States and showed up for the race in dress clothing. Thankfully, another runner used a knife to cut his pants in his shorts. Carabajal stopped at the roadside orchard for a snack during the race, but the apples were rotten, so he got struck with stomach cramps and had to sleep it off. Still came fourth.
This sounds so absurd and all so many questions. Dude, so many questions. This
sounds like Rat Race.
Yeah.
Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Mr. Bean?
Well, which is essentially It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World.
Yeah.
This dude from another country, as if you go that hard to come to another country to compete and you don't even take it seriously.
He read dress shoes and dude, he showed up with dress pants that they cut it on the day.
And you're going to stop for a snack in the middle of it?
Yeah, but it hurt his stomach because they were rotten, so he had to sleep it off. Still came fourth.
Oh my God. Dude,
Holy shit, I could have won this marathon.
I want to talk to so many people at this place. Wow. That annoyed me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Has there ever been a period in time where the Olympics stopped for a while? It's just been consistent.
Oh no, I think it's been consistent when it started. When did it start?
Wow. Man, have you seen that freaking weird footage of the Olympics during World War II? Oh, sorry, is it just...
1896, so this was like the third time it'd been held.
Wait,
no, the
really?
second time.
I thought it was like...
Wasn't it from like the ancient Greek?
Ancient Greeks.
Yeah, but maybe it was just the Greeks thing for a while.
Oh, and this is when it became worldwide.
Yeah.
Okay. We would pretend we were playing Dragon Ball Z. We were pretending they were the characters. And man, I remember there was this tree behind the demountable toilets at our primary school, and it had little green berries on there. And we would pretend that there was Zenzu beans. And we'd be like, defeated in battle, be like, give me a Zenzu bean.
Did you eat it?
We ate them, dude.
Do you know what they were?
No, I don't. And that's why I just realized the other day, I'm like,
you could have been poisoning yourself.
Exactly. What has that done to me? I have no idea. As a kid, I was just like, it doesn't taste like anything. I do remember what they look like, but I just realized this. I'm like, holy shit, man, I ate a lot of those little berries and I don't know what they were. Just wild behind the school demountable toilets as well, dude.
Oh, dude, they might be growing. Maybe that's why they were yellow. They're growing off the pea juices.
No, they were green. They were like...
the green, still.
I know, dude.
Oh, dude.
What was I eating?
Dude, I just got to Google Australian sensu bean looking tree.
Yeah.
And see what comes up.
It definitely did make me stronger.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious. That is actually insane.
I wonder if I go back to the school and it's still there, the trees.
Do you think it was actually giving you a little bit of health every time you regenerated a bit?
Look, I'm still sound body of mind.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much mind, but there must have been something in there good enough that I can keep running.
Damn, that's funny as hell.
Hey, it made me power up my Kamehamehas. So
I hated when I was playing with make believe, and there was always one kid, and it's like, I'm gonna have the power to breathe fire. I'm gonna have the power to fly, and then one kid is like, I want the power to have all the powers.
Yeah.
And they're like, damn, dude, why do you gotta do it like that?
Or like just abusing their power so much they're just overpowering everyone. You're like, dude,
that's
you
it.
gotta dial it back a
I'm not
little
gonna
bit.
play with you
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
I don't want to play this make-believe game anymore.
I was definitely the kid where like you start playing tip, and then as soon as I'm in, I'm like, I don't want to play anymore.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah, dude.
You need another sensu bean. Give me the sensu bean.
I'm out of energy. Sensu bean. It's at the back of the toilets. The back of the toilets.
Oh, that's gold. How big were they?
A guy showed his feet, and they were like primate feet. He looked like he had opposable thumbs as big toes, and they were like the big toe was definitely lower down on his foot.
Oh,
and it looked like he could like literally grab stuff.
I've seen that. Yeah, he had a. I know exactly what you're talking about. He had some sort of genetic defect that forced his feet to become this devolved version of themselves.
Yes.
It was almost like chimp feet. I saw it. He had toes, that were just completely off his foot. Yeah, that's it. That's him.
This is
yeah,
the guy.
I saw that guy.
Bring up the picture right here. But
Yeah, we'll bring it
for
up.
for those of you watching. But it's very fascinating. He looks like he has
His big toe
hands
is
for feet.
Yeah, it
But
looks like
primate hands.
how your thumb is not the tallest. It's the shortest of all your hands. That's what his foot looks like. It's very bizarre.
And it definitely looks like if he wanted to, he could hang
looks
off a tree.
painful. Yeah, it looks super painful for some reason.
No, I think it just looks like a strong hand because that dude definitely gripping on stuff. He's
that is
holding on to
crazy.
stuff.
Yeah. Man, shoes would be so uncomfortable for him.
Have to be like custom shoes. What would you?
Would you barefoot it like that?
Yeah, I'd want my feet hands to be strong as fuck.
No. Would you walk around, the shops like that barefoot?
I wouldn't walk around the shops like
You'd look like a
now.
splice alien. People would be pretty freaked out. I
You'd think
reckon,
that would- you'd think that
honestly,
was like
you'd
a
be
body
pretty
mod.
embarrassed.
You'd be pretty embarrassed, but at the same time, I would love to take advantage of that at home. You could put your shoes on without
Crush a Coke can with your toes.
You could put your shoes on without bending down.
That's if he's got the dexterity. You don't know.
Dude, I saw a video. This guy's like doing like gripping motions, like he could hold an apple. He could hold an apple with
pretty
his
incredible.
feet, for sure. He's
All
got
right.
the grip
Damn.
strength.
All right, that's cool, man.
Would you how far would you live if no one was at your home and you're living by yourself and you got this ability? How far are you living ape life?
What do you mean? How far am I living?
Are you on all fours? Are you holding a book and eating an apple with your feet? With your feet, like what are you? How far are you pushing it?
What a strange question. I love it. I don't think I'm honestly too lazy to learn that type of skill, I think.
I picture him
Because you can do
max
do
production.
crazy stuff with your feet now, but are you going to practice it? Like I've seen people write with their feet. But do you want to practice that? Do you want to waste your time doing
this
that?
guy looks like he's got hands for feet.
Yeah, but I don't still think I would invest in it.
I'm picturing this dude, right? He's sitting back on the couch. He's holding a book with his left hand. He's swirling,
no, wait, I think
he's
it's
swirling a
his foot.
glass of wine with his right foot hand and then just like changing the record player with his left foot hand and then just like grabbing a drink with his right hand. Like just multitasking, dude.
That's amazing. But the first thing I thought you said was he's like chilling back, lying down, and he's got his toes holding a book and he's just reading so chill.
dude.
That's what
and
I pictured.
And turning pages with his foot hand.
Okay, that's pretty amazing. That's an amazing thing to picture, and I want to picture he's living that life too.
I hope he's living that life.
I hope so.
Yeah, that would be
But he was
amazing.
pretty open about it online, so you hope so.
You got to be. You'd been asked questions since birth, so
Very quick. You blink, you miss it. Everyone at home, we're going to
rotate
describe
that
it.
laptop for me.
We're going to describe it, and then for those watching, I'm going to bring up the video for you as well. Okay, blink, you'll miss it.
Okay, guys. So it's a short video
about
of
1
this.
second long.
Basically, have you seen Matrix 2?
Yeah.
So those two dread-looking
It's the
dudes that
twins.
turned the twins. Picture them, but like 30 years older, and basically still dressing the same. And so one of them, this guy, he's old. He's got bleached blonde hair. He's put on sunnies, and this cameraman just rams him with the camera. It looks like I'm guessing this is Japan with
I don't know
the text
what's
on the
going
screen.
on. Yeah, and no one is confused by what's going on with the camera.
No, I feel like he asked for he was a piece of shit to the reporter, and then he said, but like because he's putting his like Givenchy shades on.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, now I'm ready for my close-up. And the reporter was like, now go fuck yourself. And he rams him with the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a piece of shit to him just before this started. But damn, dude, he
is colliding with him too. Like, he is not slowing down.
He's taken off frame, dude. Like, and I bet you those sunglasses are broken. And he puts them on like a boss, dude. He's doing it so sleek.
Jamming. Yeah, I know. Why is he like the face as well? He's going, yeah. So wait, what do you think's going on here? Like, it's a news report.
Yeah, dude, I think he was being a piece of shit. And he was like trying to act all cool, calm, collected after he just blew up. And the cameraman was like, nah, stuff this dude.
But he like physically attacks him.
He said, I'm ready for my close-up. He's like, here you go.
Yeah, he's like, I'm ready for my close-up. He's like, bam, and just nails him.
Damn. I want to know what happened after that.
Yeah, I want to know. Do you think he was
He arced
mad?
up. He arced up for sure. He was upset that his favorite glasses broke, and that he wasn't going to get cast in the next Matrix movie.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And he's balding severely.
Yeah, big time, dude. I don't think he's... See, if he was younger, he would have been able to go intangible there, and the camera would have gone right through him.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, ever since his twin brother died, it's never been the same.
Okay, so we have... Explain that video.
Ooh. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching our Men in Black special.
Yep.
I'm your host again, Special Agent J.
And I'm your host, Special Agent K.
And for those of you watching, I'm just going to get you to look at your center of your screen, just over this little device over here. Cool. Thank you for watching this hour-long video of acquisitions and mergers.